Hey everyone, Eddie Z, the Yum Yum Foodie here, and if you can't tell by the sign, I am at the Cow Poly Swine Unit, and I'm gonna do my first ever pig farm tour. Let's check it out. At Cow Poly Swine Unit, hands-on learning meets cutting-edge care. Students manage pigs in clean, sustainable environments, ensuring top-tier animal welfare while preparing for real-world agriculture. Biosecurity is key at every pig farm. And when you think pig farm, you might imagine something messy, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Pig farms are incredibly clean, and forget the phrase pigging out. Pigs actually follow balanced diets designed by experts to provide all the nutrients they need to grow and thrive. Modern pig farms also focus on comfort and care. Pigs live in carefully controlled environments, keeping them safe, healthy, and treated humanely. Plus, veterinarians play a huge role. They consistently monitor pigs, even when the animals aren't sick, so they can prevent illness or treat it quickly if needed. Just like your family's health matters, animal care is a top priority on the farm. Another thing I learned about is the education and certification programs that pig farmers complete to help them provide the best possible care for their pigs. After visiting the farm, I can rest assured knowing the pork I buy at the store is safe and delicious. I couldn't leave without picking up some cuts at the market on campus. I mean, of course. All right, so I just finished my tour, got my cuts of pork, and let's see what I'm gonna make when I get home. All right, came back from my pig farm tour, and I'm inspired. In partnership with the National Pork Board, I'm gonna make a coffee-rubbed smoked pork tenderloin. Okay, so my coffee rub is ready to go. It consists of smoked paprika, salt, pepper, brown sugar, and of course, Cuban espresso. Don't worry, if you have a little bit extra left over, you could just pack it up and use it again in the future. My tenderloin is seasoned. It's gonna go in the smoker now at a really low setting, just for about an hour so it can capture all of that smoke flavor. Then we're gonna take it out of the smoker, wrap it in aluminum foil, crank up the heat, and cook it up to 145 degrees. The pork tenderloin is done when it reaches an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit with a 3-minute rest. All right, the pork tenderloin is done. If you could only smell all these aromas, the coffee, the brown sugar, the smoked paprika, it is all just emanating right from this. Now we're gonna slice it up and plate. The reason I like to cook pork is because it has so much flavor, it's tender, it's juicy, and after coming back from my tour, I have a new appreciation for pork and pig farmers. Have a look at this slice right there. You can see the pink ring of smoke around the outside, so it's got all that smoky flavor. You can see the crust from that coffee rub. This is gonna be so good. So I'll put some of that au jus on top, leftover juices, and it works really well with the umami of sauteed mushrooms. So there is my espresso rubbed pork tenderloin. I'm gonna show you how to make my sous vide Cuban mojo pork in partnership with the National Pork Board. Starting off with this 12-pound pork shoulder, but it's a little bit too big, so I'm gonna break it down into more manageable pieces to put into my sous vide so it'll absorb some flavor. So for my mojo marinade, I've got some garlic, some cumin, some fresh ground black pepper, some salt, some dry oregano, and a little sour orange juice. I'm gonna mash that together and make a paste to mix with my pork chunks. One thing, when you're talking about pork shoulder, you're talking about pork in general, it is flavor. This is probably the most flavorful protein to me out there. I'm Cuban pork, it's on. Let's put this in the sous vide and get it going. And you're gonna throw this in your sous vide at 180 degrees for a minimum of 12 hours. Pork is safe to eat when it reaches an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit with 3 minutes to rest. But I recommend cooking this pork until it reaches an internal temperature of 180 degrees Fahrenheit. I let the pork cool down, took it out of the sous vide, and it's now ready to shred. But just to give you an idea, look at this. They're falling right apart. So for the mojo sauce, I've got some mashed garlic, citrus, so some sour orange, black pepper, and we're gonna add some hot oil to this. So since there's garlic in there, it could burn really easily if I put it on the pan. Little pro tip is I get the oil hot and then I pour the oil into the container and make the sauce that way. Now this sauce is meant to go right on the pork and right away served. Serve it right along with some Cuban black beans and white rice. There it is, my sous vide Cuban mojo pork.